Welcome in, friends, and welcome in. This is Kendi K all day. And friends, I want to introduce to some and present to others the one, the only JC Calamity Jane. Welcome, JC Calamity Jane. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you for having me. This is one that you've been one of those one of those content creators that I just like you know the business, right? You know the algorithm, you know the business, and so it's just and hey, that's enough. That's more than enough. So I mean, it's one of those
Yes.
things that um, so it's a bit sort of like ooh. It's like, am I arriving? Is this the arrival? So I'm really excited to be here. Bring you bring a wealth of knowledge that's based on your experience, and then you invite people into that experience. There's a couple of you people that I've met, new friends that I've met in the last couple of weeks. There's a couple of these similar environments that it's all about us learning together and thriving together. And you're definitely, you're in that pack. And so I'm really excited to be here. And thank you to all my folks that are joining in. Thank you for coming in, and make sure y'all are, remember each other's names and go visit one another. So
I have been waiting on this interview all week because y'all, at this moment, folks contact me for interviews, and I'm happy as long as it accommodates my work schedule, and as long as I know where JC Calamity Jane will tell you, Kendi K reached out to me for the interview because I think you're just an amazing. You are, in fact, an indescribable wonder.
oh,
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. JC J, I said, who is this lovely person? And I
oh,
do mean lovely. I said, wow, look at this content. And we're going to talk all about, y'all. We're gonna give y'all, it's a coffee and conversations, y'all. This is an evening edition of Coffee and Conversation, and Kitty K has no coffee. All I have is my good old H2O. And JC Calamity J, what are you sipping on?
I am sipping on straight straight water, no chase, right? Is that the phrase? So,
No, no
yeah,
chaser.
I did have
Who
some
knows? We're women
no
of a
chase.
particular
Who
age.
knows?
Whatever,
Particular age, yeah.
that's what it is. Yes, yes.
Exactly. I like that. Whatever we say. So I did have some of that. Oh, my people in the chat are going to correct me on it, but it's the oat, the lemon one. The what? So yeah, all of y'all correct me in
Nuts
there, but it's
or
protein. There's just a protein. Today was kind of a weird because I didn't really do. Somehow I managed not to do breakfast. I don't know how that happened, but I went out to eat with a friend, and so I made sure to get some protein in. So I did have the oat drink earlier today. So,
okay.
but right now it's just the rest of the evening. It's just going to be water.
All
So yeah.
righty. So yeah, I'm just plain water. I don't even have lemon. I did run into Sam's Club, picked up salad, picked up apples, and didn't get any lemons or limes. So that's Kenny because I'm a woman of particular age. Do you find that there is a level of forgetfulness that I've never.
So it's I know there's probably something I can which I'd rather not discuss. I just think the world is an interesting place.
Yeah.
Hopefully that's enough to say what I think is affecting my focus a lot this
Right.
year. And as a result, yeah, and I don't like it. Like I am known for my memory, like scarily known for my memory. Like so much so that people would be like, "Oh, be careful what you say. She's going to remember 10 years from now." Like it's one of those type things. So yeah, so I'm getting to that point of like, writing things down. Either taking a course. This is not this is no revelation that I came up with. This is known. If I write things down, I had like a grocery list. If I had written that grocery list down, looked at it several times, and like this past weekend, I forgot it. Forgot it at the house, and I went to the store. But I remembered everything on the list because I wrote it down first. So that's the trick. We got to write things down.
Yes. And I would venture to say my cell phone is full of content related to my YouTube channel, snippets, things, whatever. But the other portion of my photo library is my notes to myself, right? Because that becomes my virtual, to-do list, grocery list. It all just ends up as photos in my phone, right? I'll snap a picture of something I need to pick up at the store and then leaving the list somewhere. So, yeah. So, yeah, it is what it is. But we're gonna make it through, y'all. The chat is ginormous already, and so we want to jump right in there. I am seeing your friends from both sides who are also many of them my friends, and so y'all, however you are joining us today, we want to say thank you. And if you happen to catch this Coffee and Conversations on the replay, thank you again, and please leave us a comment so that we know that you came by. I want to thank the other side of 50, one of my favorite new channels in these YouTube streets, for becoming a member of Kendi K's crew, and that's crew with a K. Thank you for joining us on the other side of 50. Y'all check out the channel if you haven't already. But this interview is all about our good sister friend, JC Calamity Jane. I mean, I'm super excited because, y'all, she's an indescribable wonder. Yes, she is. The friends, thank you all for joining us. This is all about JC Calamity Jane. So, on my side, you will not see Nightbot. If you do, we are timing him out for the evening because I'm pushing all traffic over there to JC Calamity Jane's channel, and that is how I honor my guests for coffee and conversations. There is no pretense here, friends. No pretense. We are just talking amongst ourselves as sister friends, and we're inviting our viewers in to join in on this conversation. If you do have questions for JC Calamity Jane, and I'm being intentional by saying the channel name, but what do you want us to call you? Is that okay?
Oh, Calamity Jane, and then if other people know me by my first name is Jennifer or Jen. I do ask if you're going to say Jen to spell it with two N's. That is a thing. If y'all remember Anna Green Gables back in the day, she was very insistent on Ann with an E. So I am Jen with two N's if you're gonna use that. But Calamity Jane is fine. I've debated about even dropping the JC part, but enough people are used to it now, so it's just you know any variation on a theme there, and I'll respond.
Well, you didn't ask me my opinion, but I say leave it as is. It is you. You have embodied that wholeheartedly. It is JC Calamity Jane.
I like it.
Friends. Tell us, for those, let's say there is someone still out there who has never met JC Calamity Jane. Tell us a little bit about your channel, if you will.
Sure. So, my channel is 100% sort of the things that interest me and keep me going. I will say I jumped, I was a casual observer of YouTube. I actually used to get on to my husband because he was always like, he has so many YouTube channel interests. He's always on YouTube, right? And I was one of those, catch up with the late night shows, watch a music video here and there. So that was my relationship, or trailers, things like that. You'll come to find out soon enough. I would watch Grey's Anatomy, and then I would want to catch the promo. So that was my relationship to YouTube. It was the thing out there when I needed something, or of course, like a DIY fix. I needed to figure out how to deal with one of the chickens. I needed to figure out how to fix something on a car or fix something on a device. So, let me go to, YouTube University. I use it for work a lot, YouTube University. So that was my relationship to YouTube. And then I did in July get started on the on Zepbound, one of the GLP-1 or in a GIP, tirzepatide is the medical name, and then the brand I use is Zepbound for weight loss. I am a type 1 diabetic, but we'll get into that in a minute. And so as a result of that, I because I knew that the language around these medications was side effects, side effects, side effects. This isn't going to happen to you. And so I was like, well, let me see what's happening. What's the conversation around this, right? So, went to YouTube, Zepbound, GLP. And then I found this robust community of humans just sharing their lives, doing all these things. So got involved. And so, some of my friends over here will probably be like, yeah, she did a lot. I go in there and I comment and I interact with the lives and all the things and I answer the questions and the quizzes and all the stuff, right? And so and then through that community, and I've got to say her name because she's one of my moderators. I've got to give her a shout out, Joe at Sleep and Slim Down Journey. This woman she is the, I don't want to say town crier, but she is the woman if you want to be connected.
Yes, she's the connector.
So she is a
connector.
Connector. And so through her, I met the cruise people, and I love them.
Yeah.
My sister, who refuses to go, sorry, my sister, she's a yacht person.
Oh,
so she's correct. She won't do cruises. She'll do a yacht because less people, bigger space, right? And so I met, and I love the cruise people, but I brought her this because she loves, she doesn't like cruises, but she loves the cruise people, right? And I love them. They're amazing. They are the joy in which this. If you want to see peak joy, surround yourself with a cruise community. Through the cruise community, I met more chicken people.
Yes.
I met more gardening people. And it's just been this, it's like all the things that make me thrive, I have met. And I only really started September 12th.
Which I could not believe, JC. I could not believe that. I knew you were new to the YouTube streets. I think I met you from Shop Talk, and I knew that you were a type 1 diabetic. You've been very transparent about that, and I think that is helping so many for your transparency, along with using GLP-1s as part of your weight loss journey. But your aura, I don't have a Calamity Jane. Everyone knows you. And you said September, what is when you launched your channel?
September 12th was because I was celebrating I took the weekend off to celebrate my birthday, and it's like, well, let me get in someone. I don't even remember which of the long-standing content creators said it, but someone said, "Oh, you should do it." And I think Joe pushed me to do it, and then Misty Bossway, Harjareen kind of pushed me, and then basically, don't get in the car with those two and not expect adventure. How about that?
Yes.
So I stepped into their car, and they did not let me out. So maybe I've been kidnapped, right? But Joe and Harjareen have kept me going. And then like I said, the community itself, and it's absolutely brilliant. And we do what we can. It's do I do every live? No, but I'll catch the replay. I make sure to comment. I make sure to do the actions. Make sure to shout people out and stuff. But it's just, it's absolutely who and I guess many of y'all knew the type of community and relationships that could be made here, but never in a million years did I think this was. I thought today as I was thinking about this, it's like we all know, what Mr. Zuckerberg's vision was back in the day about it. It's like he didn't attain what it's become today is not it, right? That vision may have been a moment, a glimmer, but it never fulfilled itself, right? Of people getting to know each other and connectedness in an authentic way. Who knew YouTube does that?
Right.
So, here we are. And again, there's emotions involved, and who knows if I'll ever get there, but hopefully that's not the case. So
yeah. I love YouTube. YouTube is certainly my playground, and for you to be known so well in these YouTube streets, in these YouTube, in the YouTube stratosphere, whatever you call it, JC Calamity Jane is out there. And as you can see, friends, y'all, look at all the things she mentioned. Now you've given away the secret already, JC Calamity Jane, because Kitty K loves chicken life. I love chicken life. Ask Cali Chickens, ask Chicken Explorers, one of my good buddies. We went all the way to monetization together.
wow.
Chicken Explorers, he's a mensch man, y'all. You might, I made a short about him and his chickens. So, y'all, it's all a love. And so once I saw the chickens, took me out. I said, oh my goodness, indescribable wonder. I'm just trying to tell you. I'm just trying to tell you. And I'm very partial. I'm very biased. Yes. It's all about JC Calamity Jane today. And there are so many in the chat, but I want to give you an opportunity to say hello to some of your friends. Certainly, you mentioned Joe's Sleep and Slim Down Journey. She is a connector. I am certainly connected to Joe's Sleep and Slim Down Journey. She is co-hosted Shop Talk with me with 3 live Q&A streams per week where we just talk shop. Yeah. Go ahead, and if you can see any of your friends, point them out. I'll try to there are hundreds.
Yeah, I see beautiful Michelle, and she just finished a live. She was doing her hula hooping. Michelle Mira, she does it at night. And Michelle corrects me on all the things. For me, it's 10 p.m. Central Time, so I assume it's 11 for you, but she'll throw in the correct time. But she just who knew people can get wisdom that late at night? Like I'm going to settling in for the night, and she's throwing down wisdom. But she's amazing. She's amazing with her journey. Amy's losing it. So Amy is the person that she's stuck with me because, of course, it's a weight loss journey, and I want to support her there. But she cruises, and she's a fun cruiser. So Amy's on here, and I see. And then I know
I can't find Amy's name right now, but she's been on the screen.
Oh yeah, Amy's losing it. And Mr. Ezekiel, Mr. Ezekiel is a supporter, and he, like I said, he is sharing the good word, and so definitely him. And then I know there's Massive Mobile. I know Massive Mobile by their other channel, but I have connected with them, and so I appreciate their support. Of course, Gemini Diva. I think we follow lives around. Like there's some people we just follow lives everywhere. And then of course Miss Nikki is a big supporter out there and in our world. And then beautiful Kate from Seattle. Beautiful Kate. Oh, she is my. And Kim K, you may be in this circle too. So beautiful Kate from Seattle. She's a science nerd. She's a geek like me. Appreciate my beautiful Kate.
I've been watching. I have moved in Washington, and I work off of the West Coast in Oregon and in Washington. So yeah,
can we connect? Yeah, she's amazing. Absolutely. Of course, Real Talk with V. So Real Talk with V is sort of my. She is. I say this about people a lot in my real life. She's who I want to grow up when I reach peak level, like authority, and just how she shares information. She gives it to you straight, but she also is very transparent. So love me some real journal talk with V. Definitely get to know her. And then I did see earlier. I know there's a few people up at the top, and Grant Campbell. He is. I've seen his name, but he's not necessarily new as a supporter. But I've seen his name around, and I think he's going to start a channel soon. I may be getting him confused with someone else, but I feel like he's either has one or he's about to start one. So Grant, correct me if I misassociated you there. And then who did I saw someone earlier? I know my good friend Odie's Eden was here earlier. I was actually looking through some of the feeds. I know we're not talking garden yet, but I was looking through some of the seeds. And then Cookie J. So Cookie J is like a comedian who's just identifying as a YouTube supporter. She is truly the comedy hour. So definitely connect. Cookie J is amazing. And then hopefully, I think I got everyone that I know. There's a lot of people through your
Yes,
channel too.
they're both sides. Yes, and
Oh,
that's what it's about.
Sailing, Sailing took George. We're
Yes,
new
yes.
buddies. We're new friends,
There's Grant. I
but
found Grant for you. There's Grant.
Sailing Cook George is not only a cook, as his name suggests, but as also his name suggests, he's on a boat. So y'all have to understand. The first date I had with my husband was, and the picture. So there's a short on my channel of when I lost weight the first time, and I'm holding a fish. So yeah, I married a guy with a truck, a jeep, and a boat. So
Hey.
you may understand my
Yes, yes,
motivations in life.
yes.
So if you're on a
I love
boat, you if you have a boat and you're fishing, you literally win my heart every time.
I love
So so y'all maybe getting to know too much about me in this moment. So um and then of course Kyle, Kyle vlogs, he's out there doing it. He's making the right
Hi,
connections.
Kyle.
He's sharing his life and kind of just, whether it's his walks and things like that, he's sharing it with us, right?
And
And
his
that and
pizza
that's
or
and
his
that's the part.
haircuts. Love him. Love him.
And I may be saying something early and probably against all the things, and probably maybe all against all the things that YouTube teaches us. So I'm gonna say it and then take it for what it is. I like the people because that's how I am. If I had it my way, I would just turn on my camera and go.
Yep.
Right. But I know there is a level of, it's important to have a good thumbnail. It's important to have a good intro. By the way, for those who love my intro, that's Miss Hardreen. The Boss Way created that for me early, and people love it, and I love her for it. Right. I know there's the importance of those things. I know there's the importance of making sure to acknowledge the replay community. I know there's importance to make sure to give people a call to action, ask questions for that interaction. But I also love just I'm going on a walk. Come with me.
I know that's
I like
right.
those
Yes.
people. I like our. I'm going out in my garden and planting some things because, that's what I love to do. And then Miss Monique, on her channel, she's showing us all the.
Basket making community. So, friends, if you are having a choppy stream, because y'all, there are literally thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, folks who have streams going on at this moment. If your stream is choppy, pop out and then come back in and see if that clears it up. And it might be that our sister friend JC Calamity Jane might need to pop out of this stream and come right back in. Friends, if you can hear my voice, would you put a 2 in the chat? If you can hear my voice, or put a 2 in the chat. If you can hear my voice, or put a 2 in the chat. If you can hear my voice, or put a 2 in the chat. Yes, okay. So I do have a good stream. And so our sister friend, JC Calamity James, she'll be right back, y'all. It is Vlogtober. So happy Vlogtober to each and every one of you. Thank you, Kyle Vlogs. Check out Kyle Vlogs. He is our good friend in these YouTube streets. He is our good buddy, y'all. We're all connected. I am super excited. This is great so far. And I want to make sure that I make a very special welcome to our good friend, Simply Debbie Sue. 10 out of 10, Kitty K highly recommends. I'm just giving us a moment, y'all. This is Vlogtober, and this is what it's going to be. It's going to be what it's going to be. Our friend is going to come right back in. And so if you are getting a choppy connection, just pop out and then come right on back in. Yeah, our friend is back with us.
Sorry about that.
No problem. I think, y'all, this is what it's going to be like. This is Vlogtober, the lead up to Vlogmas, November and December. So, friends, if you do end up with a poor stream or it's weak, just pop out and pop back in. And I'm speaking that for myself too. So, y'all, if anything happens, I'll be right back. But so far, so good. Okay, so we're just hanging out with our friend, and let me pay some bills right quick and give you just 30 seconds to catch your breath. JC Calamity and we'll be right back at you. Y'all, this episode of Coffee and Conversations featuring the indescribable wonder, JC Calamity Jane, is brought to you by PoundCakeExperts.com. With 50, yes, Kendi K said 50 gourmet flavors of a pound cake. Pound Cake Experts, you can check them out at the largest state fair in Texas, the Texas State Fair in Dallas, Texas. Visit Pound Cake Experts on all social medias.com. And we're back. We are back, friends. Thank you. I want to thank my moderators. And before we move forward, and then we'll get all of that technical stuff out of the way and we can just talk. Y'all are sitting right here in Kitty K's kitchen and look at that beautiful pasture behind JC Calamity Jane. Just gorgeous. See, I'm here for the whole vibe of that as well. I'm here for all of that vibe too. But I want to thank the moderators that I see in the chat on my side. That is none other than Monique Poe. That is none other than Gemini Diva 79 and Claire the Missing Link. I believe I saw Claire the Missing Link. If I've forgotten anyone, my moderators will let me know. Thank you. Thank you. These folks are just here supporting, making sure that everything stays good and in order. Let's make sure that we are dropping JC Calamity links channel so that folks who entered through my front door are able to connect to her channel and check out the content. And if you like the content, you already know what to do. All right. And so let's keep moving forward there. I want to take a look at some more of your content because I want the friends to know all the things that you do over there on that channel and why I'm just all leaned into everything. I love your channel. I love your channel. You've got a great channel. And y'all, September the 12th, so not even a month. This is where we are. Oh, she's ready. She's ready. She's ready for these YouTube streets, friends. Yes, yes. Let me just show this really large just so that everyone can see it. Y'all check out JC Calamity Jane. There is her handle. Please, friends, y'all, you know me. Once I saw the chickens, sold. And y'all tell us, JC Calamity Jane, tell us a little bit about how the connection between Chicken Life and Grey's Anatomy. Tell us about that.
Oh, well, perfect. So, I grew, as a child, we had chickens and stuff. One of my most fondest memories was waking up on Easter morning and our parents, they woke us up really early and they woke us up as if we had not completed the prior day's chores. And so it was like Easter morning. They're like, oh, y'all need to it's like 4 something in the morning. You need to get up. Y'all forgot to do this and that. You didn't take care of everything. And so we wake up outside. It's like what didn't we do? And then there was this bucket sitting there, and they're like, well, y'all forgot that y'all left this bucket out. And of course, we're like, why are you waking us up for this bucket? And so we turn over the bucket, and then all these little baby chicks just run out everywhere, right? So that grew I had my rooster I had a rooster back then, was my best friend, all the things. So that led up to adult life. Some reasons we were able to kind of move into a more rural area in Texas and stuff like that. And so that's the first, I think, less than a year after we were in our new home, I got some chickens. And so we got a whole bunch of chickens. And the first thing that I said to myself, because I'm a late arrival to the Grey's Anatomy's world. I did not watch the show when it first came out. Just it wasn't my thing. But in the last couple of years, especially when I would go on work trips, that would be the show I watched on planes and stuff. And so it's just a fun. I can literally watch that show in the background, do all the things, and and not worry about a thing. Right, just get all the things I need done. And so here I am I initially only had hens, and here I am because I started with 8. So anytime someone says I'm going to have 8 chickens or 3 chickens or 1 chicken, multiply it by 3 or 4. And that's how many they'll have, in a year, and then continue to exponentially multiply that number, right? And that's how many they end up with. Anyway, so here I am, and it's like the best personalities to give chickens a name are Grey's Anatomy characters. and they act like it. I mean, they if you and the picture you saw, I think Miranda was in the forefront of that picture when I was trying to take a picture of Owen, and Miranda shows up in the shot. I mean, just in their behavior and all the things they do, they act like they're named characters, and so that's how I ended up. I knew I was going to have X number of chickens eventually, and I needed a group of names to name them as I got more birds, and so Grey's Anatomy was it. So yeah,
See,
12 years here.
what folks don't know is that I love Grey's Anatomy. And so again, Chicken Life and Grey's Anatomy and Friends. So you started off with 8 chickens, and now how many do you have?
I now have 27 at my highest. We did have chicks in April and May. So the first chicks that hatched were in April. The next set hatched in May, and so at my height, I was at 32. I'm actually thinking about getting, so I currently have 27. I am highly, highly considering getting 5 more hens, only because I have 3 roosters, and the perfect rooster to hen ratio is 1 rooster to 10 hens. And
Oh,
right now, I'm 3 and 20, so I'm eight. I'm 8 to 1, and it's not chaos, but it would be better if I had 10 to one to each rooster. So we'll see what happens. I reached out to the lady who I get my chickens from, and I'm just waiting to hear her back to see if she happens to have those chickens and everything. So
oh
yeah,
wow. So 1 rooster to 10 hens.
it is the ideal set because uh, roosters have a reputation for a reason. So is what I'll say when it comes to the romance. It's the best way to say it. And they want all the birds. Roosters want all the ladies to themselves, and so you need to give them as many ladies as possible so that they can be happy. So my goal is to make sure my chickens are happy. So I probably want to get 5 more just to make sure none of the hens are overstressed and the roosters are overstressed because I mean again when roosters are ready to do their they're persistent, and I mean there's literally like you can get I have some in the I won't go get them, but for because of the luckily my roosters don't have spurs yet, but those spurs can cause some damage to the hens and stuff, and they literally have what they call aprons that you can put on the hen to protect from the spurs. Oh, it's intense, the things that are out there for chickens.
Wow. And the it's the details that you learn
Yes,
about chicken life on your
right,
channel that y'all I don't know. I don't know why I love chicken life. I'm like, is that the new pet I'm supposed to get is a chicken now because I don't live in the city limits. So but yeah.
oh, I mean, usually it's HOAs. I mean, some cities are allowing at least, the big thing is no roosters, right? People, because there's a lot of the noise or whatever. But I can tell you, a hen can be loud. I think my hens are louder than, especially their egg songs, the hens are louder than the roosters are sometimes. But usually most cities don't allow for roosters, and then HOAs, of course, can be kind of interesting. But just check your city laws. More cities are allowing for one or three hens. You never want to get just one chicken, so you at least want to get three. So
Okay. Okay. Now do you and your family do y'all sell the eggs or is this just a
we do not. So I love having chickens. I
mhm.
love chickens. I think they're amazing. The benefit of having chickens is eggs. So we only need and I actually need to, here's my 18 pack. We actually need to fill that. For us as a family, we only need an 18 pack per week. So I get my portion, and then the rest goes to friends, neighbors, caretakers, whoever.
Yeah.
If the mailman shows up, I'll be like, "You need eggs for the week," and so we're the same way with our garden. We give food away. So, but the third Wednesday of every month is our food pantry in our community. So, what I start at the first Wednesday to that third Wednesday, I collect eggs, and and give it to the food pantry. So I'm currently on, I think I have, let's see, I have three 18 packs filled right now. So we'll see how many we get before next Wednesday, and those all will go to the food pantry.
Oh, that is so kind.
Yeah.
That is so kind. In a time where many people are spending $6, $7 for a dozen eggs. Wow, you
Right.
are sharing them with people who need them in your community. That is amazing. That see,
Right. And we won't spend a lot and also paying that much money for something labeled organic or cage free, which I won't go into that on this channel, but research.
I
Research what
always
organic means.
yeah, I always look for cage free in the store because yeah,
I get
yeah, that's all I can do. Yeah.
of course, of course. But yeah, if you could find a local egg, someone who's selling eggs, definitely do so. They taste amazing and they're really really good. This thing does his part with flowers. Yes, I try to. I've seen all the things about the flowers. That's a good idea. Amy's saying something about make vegetable earrings. Sorry, I'm getting distracted in the,
No,
in the
no. I put that up because that's again, she's an indescribable wonder, friends. I'm just saying. And just like a massive mobile window tinting, who is Poetic Tears, I believe, I hope I don't have this wrong, but is also Poetic Tears.
yes.
If to make that connection for you, I hope I don't have the wrong. Let me know if I do.
There's the
But
connection. Now that you say that, that's the connection. So I know I'm on the Poetic Tears channel. So yeah.
yeah, but yeah, just like you, I love the flowers in your hair so much so that I gave us a visual about the flowers in your
Oh,
hair
that's
because they are
funny.
gorgeous. Because again, your hair is gorgeous to me. It is your crown. It looks like you have 4C hair just like I do. And I said, oh my goodness, look at that beautiful crown of hair on your head, y'all. It's biblical.
Oh,
And so, and then when you adorn it with flowers, just love. I just love it. I just love it. Do you want to share anything about your hair? Because I'm in awe of your hair.
yeah. Oh gosh, we could. I think any I think all the people who understand, and I'm just going to say, I think it's okay to kind of talk specifics sometimes in the community. I think, uh, black women's hair, I mean, that's probably a channel in and of itself. I know Chris Rock
Yeah.
made a movie years ago about it, but, it's a top, I've had every style. I've had well, except for I've not done locks and I've not done dreads, but every other style I've done. And, I am my great grandmother was very particular about our hair. Like, while my great grandmother was alive, we were not allowed to get relaxers. It was, even though she lived in one state and I lived several states away, it was not allowed. As a teenager, I did start getting relaxers and stuff like that, and then there was a point, and I was doing a archaeological dig in the
Wait
Dallas.
a minute. Wait a minute. Wait.
Sorry,
I must
sorry.
I must interject here. Y'all, she said, "Oh, I was just doing an archaeological dig." Indescribable wonder. I'm just
Oh,
saying. Go
well,
ahead.
we'll come back around to that. Y'all are gonna get to know all sorts of things about me. Anyway, so yeah, I was to go do an archaeological dig in Dallas in the summer.
Oh wow.
In the summer. Long story short, they were doing highway. I can't really remember what, some of y'all from Dallas, y'all can remember this. They were doing highway. They were going to build or add on to the spaghetti super highway, but as they were doing that, they found evidence of an African American slave burial ground. So they had to stop. They had to basically stop the construction, and then they brought people from the colleges around it, kind of do an archaeological dig. But it was summer, in the middle of summer, June, no trees. So this girl asked one of her church friends or whatever, to say who has clippers, and the hair got shaved. And since then, I've rocked a fro and everything. So I still, even till this day, I have my barber, also known as my husband, once or twice a year. I have him shave it. I'm a girl of comfort. I need to be able to. I told Joe we were on the Hard to Ring celebration. My theme song is "I Woke Up Like This." I need something that I can get up and go. I don't wear makeup. I don't do all the things. I just need to be able to get out of bed, feed these chickens, and then once the garden's going, deal with the garden. And I'm not saying you cannot do that
Yeah.
fully, fully, whatever. I cannot do it. so so that's my hair, and then I do the flowers because I don't, I'm starting to wear jewelry, which I know we'll get to in a minute. Um, and so I wanted something. I felt going into this year, I wanted things to adorn myself with, right? So here we go. And I see Kate's comment. So Kate, that's my first degree is anthropology with an emphasis on social anthropology, but we had to do archaeology as well. And
Wow.
so that is the two. So, oh gosh. So my two first, I love science, I love archaeology, I love history, all the things. Love all the things, especially history.
Can you
But
believe this?
my,
This is
yeah,
amazing. This is amazing.
my two first crushes in life were Christopher Reeve's Superman
Uh-huh.
and Harrison Ford in The Raiders of the Lost Ark. So, and my dream, as a result of that, my dream was I was going to be, and maybe there's still hope. I'm only 46, so maybe I can still do this. I wanted to be the first let's say, archaeologist astronaut. So that was my dream, you know. So yeah,
And
so
I believe you will do that. I believe you will do it because it is 2025 and anything is possible
right,
now.
get
I
me
mean,
to the moon.
our
Yeah,
space program has been privatized. So anything is
right,
absolutely possible
right.
because
Right.
hashtag indescribable wonder. That's why.
Right. So all the things. So that's so yeah. So I was in. I started out in business school, and I was sitting in an accounting class, and it just wasn't an interest. I was taking an archaeology class at a time, and I sat there. I was sitting in this. There was three of us, and we were sitting in this accounting class, and one was somebody who's since become a fashion designer. That was their interest. I forget what the other guy ended up becoming, but he thrived in that space. And then I'm sitting here, and it's like I want to do archaeology. So I called my mom on the phone. It's like I'm switching majors. And she sat there and she looked at me. It's like, yeah, I'm not sure why you ever went to business school. Of course you're doing this. Now I went on to do public administration because a tiny little secret. My dream is to. This isn't an announcement, but I do love public policy and I love citizens. I love the power in which citizens have.
Yes.
And so there's a part of me that will always be a voice for the citizen. So I
Hmm.
went into public policy. But yeah, but I started out with anthropology and archaeology and anthropology. So yeah. So yeah, Kate, we're like this. We're like I said, I've adopted your entire family. So there we are.
And Kate says that's fine with me. She says, buddies. She says, oh my goodness. Do you see the person that is JC Calamity Jane, y'all? This is what we know in less than 30 days, y'all. And so I predict that your future is bright. Your future is so bright in these YouTube streets. You add such a persona to so many communities, and I cannot believe that you have this much growth in your channel and your content, your visuals, the views that you everything you do, your channel, the thumbnails, everything. It is just wow. Hashtag winning, hashtag channel goals for me. Everything looks great. Everything looks great. And
I get a lot of help, and it's a lot of help through what y'all are doing. Like I'll wake up and look at a few people's and this madam right here, Miss Real Journal Talk with V. I'll wake up and all
Heather,
of a sudden they're doing stuff with their intros, and it's like, how do they do that? And then I'll get
yes.
on with Joe and Harjareen and now Hermione. It's like, how did they do that? Canva.
Right.
Clip
Everyone
champ
says
or
Canva.
this, it's
I
like or Canva or Clip champ or whatever, and it's just like I learned, I'm a observer of life, and that's why, I never want to mimic or imitate, never my goal, but I do want to learn how to do something.
yes.
And so, I think we, and just try it, and
Yes.
that's all you can ever do. There's enough templates, there's enough sort of, oh, what does this feature do? That's a fun filter or whatever. So, and you just get in there and do it, and that's kind of what I want to be, want to learn and stuff like that. So yeah, so it's amazing. Again, YouTube has just created this world of discovery and learning and education. We have to be people that are lifetime learners. So that's the true development of a human is the desire to be a lifetime learner.
And I think, yes, YouTube is my playground as well. And I think that trying to learn something brand new, right? I was not doing anything. I rebelled against social media in my 40s, in my 30s, right? And to say you, but you know what, I love YouTube. I think I
Yeah.
want to start a YouTube channel. And to start a YouTube channel at 48 years old, friends, Kitty K is turning 50 within days, y'all join me for my birthday bash on October the 18th. Y'all, I cannot believe that I have learned enough, because I am a lifelong learner and there's still so much for us to absorb and learn and deepen our understanding about concerning YouTube. But I love learning, and
Yeah.
to learn something totally new, it has been a pleasure. It has been a pleasure. And to do it with and make new friends along the way. Friends that it feels like you've been friends for years, right? When you make some
Right.
of these critical connections. And I just love it. I love finding out what's happening with them, with their kids, with their family. I love this. I'm enjoying this at this moment. And as long as I'm loving it, I'm gonna stick with it.
You have to, and it's just it's creating the space, and it's not to say that it can't happen. Because I think people have active personal lives and stuff like that. But one thing that can happen in those active personal lives is just access to things. I moved to a more rural community, and so the access to sort of the types of groups and people I would hang out with, are a little bit more limited. And so it's allowing a space to feel very much connected based on your interest, based on discovering new things. And I'm going to say this: I don't know if any of my gamer friends are on, but especially through the source and some of the
You're
other
a gamer
channels.
too. Oh my goodness.
No, 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 don't use that term. But you'll hear where I'm going. I used to be in that, like, this is like the '90s gamer. So Super Nintendo and all those things like that. It was Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat were big. That's when um that's when I played. So because a lot of us, surprise, I was a nerd. So we didn't have to take our test at the end of every 6 weeks. We just hung out. So what we would do, everybody would bring their game systems to the band hall, and we would have tournaments. We would have Street Fighter tournaments
Wow.
whenever he was into Final Fantasy. I even did the mud stuff for a little while, and somebody will have to throw out what MUDD said, the mud, but that was like what the kind of those role playing games and stuff like that used to do in the DOS system or whatever. But so yeah, I used to do that stuff back in the day, and just being able to connect to other people through some of these other connect and grow channels like Tuber Chat and the source. Like I start, and then Harjareen told me her sons have, and so I still need to connect with her son. Like there's days I'm watching people, and like it brings me back that memory of just I just like watching gameplay. I don't have to be the one playing. I would get frustrated because the controls are just not the controls of my youth, right? And so it's kind of just fun getting back into that, just watching people do that gameplay. I can't rem. It was when I was watching it, it's like, yeah, I really enjoyed this at one point in my life. So just rediscovering that again was just really fun.
Now, speaking of gaming, every month I have a crew member prize wheel, and we had family game night on my
Right.
channel.
Oh yes, yes.
I think it was like last weekend, weekend before that. It all just kind of melds together because we're just having fun. And I did a whole round, a bonus round, all about the gaming systems from Pac-Man
Yeah.
to Super Pac-Man to Nintendo to the Wii. Do you remember the Wii?
Yeah, yeah, I remember the Wii.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. And then PS5s, right? I'm out. I'm out because those cost too
right,
much.
right. And then the Nuestra Familia, they do game night as a family like dominoes and stuff. And so it's
Yes.
just neat
They
what
play spades
what is
and
out there.
everything.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
Love Liliana. So glad you mentioned her channel, Nuestra Familia. My Umbo family is her I think the full name. Gemini Diva says nerd also. Kyle says hashtag a gamer. And
Yeah.
I believe that was Joe's Sleep and Slim Down Journey that said, I don't know why I'm trying to look for these chats because there's
You're,
so many of them. Amy says we need some vegetable earrings. The eggs are so
I saw
beautiful.
that. Yeah, the
Yeah.
vegetable earrings. Yeah, I can get some.
Somebody said JC Calamity Jane for president. I fully agree.
Yeah, no.
You said public policy.
Yeah, but I would have to give y'all the same response I would give to my dad when he made that suggestion. So,
So we're
so I
just
don't.
giving confirmation on it. Mm, mm.
No, no. I would need I would need a general at the ready to stage a coup. Because unfortunately, I would probably be a dictator more than one day.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Yeah,
So,
I love this. I love this. I'm so glad. Look at that
yeah.
smile, y'all. Look at this smile. Look at the beautiful smile. I love it. This is why I wanted to invite JC Calamity Jane for coffee and conversation. And because y'all, she's just like look at all the things that she's into, and we're not done yet. We are not done yet. So let me share this visual so that you can see, not just chickens, friends. Now we hear archaeology, not done yet, friends. Crafting, my mommy is a crafter, so I love crafting. And tell us about your new adventure in your downtime.
So,
Tell us a little bit about that, JC Calamity
so
Jane.
polymer clay. So this was I had gotten back on. So it actually started with chickens, right? It started. I don't. It started with chickens. So I had to get. So I've been off Facebook for a while, like a long while.
Right.
But because I had hatched these chickens, I knew I would need to give them away because I didn't want to keep all them. So I went ahead and got back on, and the reels that they have. I went ahead and did the reels, and they one of the reels that came up was this polymer clay jewelry, and it's
Mm-hmm.
not even the end result. It's the mixing of it's the different ways you can mix the colors, and then like the blending of the colors, or like creating the rock formation look, or the jewel formation, or even the stained glass look. It's all the things you can do and build, and when all the colors are pressed together. I just got mesmerized by these colors.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can do this. It was around, so that was a little bit before I had started on the Zet Bound. And so what you're going to see is, especially on my channel, is yes, I am someone that I'm managing type 1 diabetes for over 30 years. I'm also on Zet Bound since July. And while those are the things I'm doing to ensure a healthy life, the majority, or what I shouldn't say the majority, what you're going to see me represent on my channel is the life that I want to enjoy and why I want to stay healthy.
Yes.
So, but in that, I know that I'm a bored eater. So one of the things we talk about in the GLBT1 community is sort of the emotions around eating. I'm a bored eater. So I
Me
can
too.
just have had dinner or lunch, but I'm gonna go sit down and watch a movie. Well, I need my popcorn. Do I need my popcorn?
Yep.
No. Or oh, well, I just finished my popcorn. I need. I bought some really good cheese. I want to eat 30 minutes. Like I was just a board eater, just because
Yep.
it's there. I wanted to eat it, right? So one of the things I wanted to ensure that I'm doing along this journey is finding things to keep me active, but that isn't so much that my mind's not able to rest and all those things. So yeah, I got into sort of the polymer clay jewelry. So this is one of those things that I can stay active, stay busy, all the things. And and there's just these beautiful designs that you can make, right?
Yeah.
And it's just like I just love the colors. Like I'm just mesmerized by these colors. And then as this may have been like the original one, but then
Oh
as you
my
continue to use,
goodness. So
yeah,
pretty.
and then as you continue to use, because you reform it and you remodel it, and then it starts making new colors. So like I said, this was the original one, but then as you continue to blend, you get this color. But then at the end of the week, because you might have all these scraps left, you then get to sort of make something like this
Yes.
from all the scraps. And it's
Gorgeous.
really it's so straightforward to do, and you get to just build and all the things, right? Um, so of my iterations of these things, I'm only on iteration 5. So, the rough, I don't do the where you're supposed to kind of sand stuff down and do all the things. Teaser, I'm actually not using I'm using the correct brand of clay and all the things, but there's different levels of clay depending on what you're making. So some people make like the little model figures, like animals and stuff.
Hmm.
So I'm not actually using the one you're supposed to use for jewelry. So I'm trying to use all that up first before I get kind of into this. So that's my practice play, is because it's like, oh, I bought the right signs, but let me continue to practice and stuff. But people like them. I've given them out to people, and
They're gorgeous.
people I tell people that there are imperfections, but
Yes.
again, I'm not my nature
Handmade. That's what you get for
handmade,
handmade.
but
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
in my philosophy, while nature is perfect because it is nature, it is there are imperfections everywhere, and it's just as good.
Yes.
So we don't throw out imperfect fruit or vegetables in our garden. We eat them and we use them like we're supposed to, and yeah, so yeah, you're gonna get imperfect earrings every once in a while. So
Well, if that is what your imperfections look like, I'll have one, please. I'll take 2 pair, please. Wow, just
let me know your
amazing.
colors. Just let me know what colors you like, and then
Just
we'll.
amazing. Red and yellow, but I will take any of those variations. You have all those beautiful colors in there. Beautiful,
Oh,
beautiful,
thank
beautiful.
you.
And y'all, that's just what she does for fun. That's JC Calamity Jane, friends. It just is what it is. And y'all, we get all this in 1 month on
Yeah,
YouTube. All
I know.
of
I
this.
need to find the guitar community, because I still have my guitar when I lived in Austin that still sits in the closet. But it's just because you move to Austin, you buy a guitar. So that's what I did, and so it's in there. And every once I take it out once a year and do play songs that are in D, G, and C, and occasionally E minor.
Wow, wow, just wow, 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 wow. Joe says, I'm waiting for the polymer clay hair flowers.
You and
Ooh.
my sister. So every time I make earrings, oh, are the hair clips ready? I'm like, get in there, get in there.
So do you
How
take
about
the
that?
flowers in your hair and do you attach a hair clip to them so that they stay in place?
No, these are straight made from the powers of Amazon. These
Oh,
are
okay.
these
Well,
were a gift with my contribution to Bezos's wedding this year. So
same. Yeah. Don't bring that up. Don't bring that up. Right.
right.
They say, Joe, Joe says you're bringing your guitar to the next behind the scenes live. Tell us about that. Y'all,
Oh yes, the behind the
about
scenes.
that
So
collaboration. What a great collaboration. Go ahead.
I love this collaboration. So again, this is the brainchild of I'm not even sure who the first to think of it was, but this is part of the, the power. Again, if you're going to get into a car with Joe and Hard be ready for the ride. And
Yes,
so I
yes.
think we just suggested to do, we wanted to talk about sort of how we came to find, health and happiness, but also make sure this was a big support in getting, getting Joe well, she made it, right? She was so close to monetization and we wanted to make sure she got her hours and all the things. And so this was just another way for us to come together, get out of our shyness. I was still under 50. This was during the week that Joe and I agreed had to hear me.
I
I
remember
need
that. I
50 so
remember
I can
that.
go
You were like, I
live.
have
I need
50, but they still won't let me go live.
they won't let
Yes.
me go live, and woe is me, right? Woe is me. And so it was just an opportunity to kind of get us in there. And then Joe saying it was my idea, so I'll have to go back to the chats. I'll go with it for now. And it's become this beautiful thing on Monday, and what I love, so it's us learning all the things. And so Harjareen brought out the giveaways, which is just amazing, right? The giveaways and that's just an amazing add-on because you get that activity. And so
Yeah.
again, if you're a a new and young content creator or old content creator, whatever you want to be in that category, think about doing those polls and those giveaways and stuff to bring that activity in your chat
I'm
up and
certainly going
everything.
to try it. I'm certainly, again, I'm, even though I'm fully monetized now, I am still a new and very small and still learning everything. You can learn
Yeah.
from every content creator. And Harjareen, wow, the way that she has, y'all put that together, the personalities that y'all bring together and your special guests add an even different perspective, unique perspective. Just amazing. It's one of the hottest tickets on Monday nights.
There you go. I love it. I love to compete with the NFL, right?
Yes.
So I just and that's what and so that's what I love the most about it is are the hosts that and sometimes so right now we're on this trend of there's a theme and then people within the GLP-1 community are not necessarily even in the GLP-1 but that somehow connect to the theme.
Yeah.
That's kind of how we have prioritized it, but that's not the standard. There might be times that we bring people on, but they're not, but it may not be theme bound based on a topic. It may be something that host is connected by.
Something else.
So,
Yes.
something else. So that, there could be something like we just want to talk about how to connect. So guess what? We're going to bring all the people that are the rock stars and connect and grow, right? So that's kind of how, but it's brilliant. I mean, we each have our role, and that's the other part I love. Joe's our creative, and then Margarine, she makes sure we do the things we're supposed to be doing, and then I'll come up with questions, and then like I said, Hermione, she's jumped into the
Hi,
forum too,
Hermione.
so, and
Yes.
and she's bringing just these brilliant sort of ideas based on her experience. Like she has this
Yes.
whole life. She's like a food blogger and all these things, and she started a support group for her community in India to just sort of get them out of the shadows and talk about their experience and questions. I mean, just the people, it's just this brilliant, there, I don't want to, I never want to ever get too preachy, but I'm a person of faith, I'm a person of science, person of faith, all these things. And, there's passages in scripture that I resonate with the most. And there's two. There's one in Psalm, I think it's Psalms 4. I always misplace it, but it talks about, creation waits in eager expectations for the sons of God to be revealed. So that's
Mm,
one. And then number two, the other one is that we are created in the image of God, and God is this person that is omnipresent and he's omnipresent and he's everywhere. He's all time, everywhere. And what this world of YouTube has done, it's highlighted that. I am meeting humans that are the essence of any of everyone and everywhere, in the interest and the beauty is that this is how we see the makeup of our creator. Is in the
yes.
people we meet, the people we encounter, the things that they do, right?
Absolutely.
Now I went on a diatribe there. But it's understanding that amount of, we're just getting a glimpse of people's lives, right? We're just of what they're willing to share with us. But when you start getting to know these individuals and how they touch people in their communities and in their lives, it's absolutely brilliant. They're good people.
There's so
Good,
many good people.
the quality of people. And it's that it's again, nature waits in eager expectation. We get to witness it.
You absolutely get to witness that. Kyle Vlog is still here with
He's
us,
jumping
bouncing
around. Thank
back,
you so much,
back and forth.
Kyle.
That's
Kyle
what
is
support
Kyle is
looks
on it.
like.
Foot
Appreciate
soldier right there,
that,
right?
Kyle.
Kyle is.
Appreciate you. Looks like Crazy
Yeah.
Kid has snuck in here on us. Thank you, Monique
Oh,
Poe. Thank you for welcoming our guests in, because y'all, we're just talking with this indescribable wonder named JC Calamity Jane. Has been a content creator for not even 30 days, and y'all has so many facets, untapped facets, and I just want to be here for the ride. I
thank you, Nikki.
see all that you embody, who you are, and what I've seen thus far. I am loving all of it, sister friend.
Oh, thank
I love
you.
all of it. We just want a glimpse of what it is that you're doing. She said, I just want to get up and go feed the chickens and go on with my day. But thank you for capturing some of that for us in these YouTube streets. Are you doing a Vlogtober?
So, in a weird way, I am, and it's all due to the ladies out there with all these They're going to get our body fit. All these challenges. So you had Miss Toy the review with the squat challenge,
Yes.
and then you have Simply Taisha, who gave us the plank challenge this month and everything. And so you have all the traces of Twan. She has. I don't do the hula hoop, but I support. I'm supporting everyone out there doing it, like doing the hula hoop challenge and then the different things, but in a weird way, you kind of end up doing it because there's this accountability. I
Yeah.
have, I think I shouted
You
out to
did
all my
squats. You
gardeners,
did
right?
squats.
So I did the squats, yep. And then I have people in the gardening community that I kind of said, make sure I need a 31 day in the garden challenge. Oki's Eden and got me these seeds and keep talking about replenishing my garden. I mean, I still need my husband to help me get all the dirt and stuff we need to replenish. But it's that accountability. So in a weird way, yeah, Vlogtober has happened because I'm trying to hold myself accountable in these spaces and stuff like that. And then the cooking, because again, this I have time right now due to for reasons. I'll just say that.
Yeah.
And so I have I gotta just edit it all together, but I did my homemade pasta because not all carbs, man,
Did you say coffee?
not, no, pasta. So not all carbs, carbohydrates, not all carbohydrates are bad. Pasta is not bad. There are ways to get high protein pasta with good fiber. I did a video on that.
I didn't
And
see that video. I've got to watch it.
well, I have to edit it. There's lots of
Okay, you're
because
still working on it. You're because I'm like, wait a minute now,
two
because I
days
have
to make this
binge
thing.
watching, binge
Yeah,
watching some
it's
JC
coming
Calamity
out.
Jane.
Coming out.
Absolutely.
And I may even try this premiere thing that you were talking about the other day, or that people have been talking about with the premiere. So I'm trying to tie. I'm gonna probably feed the family and start editing tonight. And there's a part of me that really wants to do it as a premiere, but I make my homemade pasta. I
Oh,
show how you can get it to be high protein, high
yes,
fiber, how to
yes,
making sure that we count net carbs because we
yes,
just can't see 33 grams of carbs and be like, carbs. Well, what's
yes.
the fiber?
Right.
If I have something that's 33 and then, 5 grams of fiber, that's only 27 carbs.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I have a carb that is only 23, but then again, 4 fiber, then that's a walk after dinner. I can
That's
deal with
right.
those.
Walk it out. Walk it out. Get up and get moving.
And because and don't even get me started on Italy, but I won't go there. But I love all things Italian, so I make my homemade pasta.
Oh, I would love to try to make homemade pasta. And I'm sure it probably has, well, it may not have more than five ingredients because I'm a five
It depends.
ingredient.
It depends on what you pick, but quite
Okay.
literally. I do either to true, you want the double O or doppio flour or the double O flour. But some people can get it, if, especially with my Philadelphia folks. There's a beautiful market in Italian market in Philadelphia. But if you're near Italian market, you can get the double O flour. You can order it online too. But I use semolina flour, and then I also use whole wheat flour.
Okay.
Yes, there are ingredients where they have you add water, they have you add olive oil, they have you add all the things. I do probably the simplest form of pasta, whatever flour I choose. Then I pick nice, beautiful eggs.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, egg and flour
Chicken
pasta.
flour.
Well, no, egg and flour. So
Oh, eggs
you
and flour. Okay. Yes.
eggs and flour.
Casey eggs
So
and flour.
eggs and flour. That's all you need to make pasta. I mean, you can also do water and flour, and that's all you need to make pasta. So, but you can add other things. You can add salt, you can add olive oil, but I keep it simple. I do my flour and I do my eggs and make a pasta. And the eggs add protein to it, and then you can
Yeah.
get flours that are high in protein.
I
So
can't wait. I can't wait. So I again, y'all, if you're doing Vlogtober, make Vlogtober work for you. And what I have vowed to do, this is y'all coffee and conversations with JC Calamity Jane. Y'all look at that beautiful background. Look at the chicken life. Embrace it. I'm calling it fall, and I call that Vlogtober day 7. I vow
right.
to bring new content every day for 31 days, be it a live stream, a long format video, or a short. And so far, I've done it with long format videos and live streams. So I want to thank you for joining us for Coffee and Conversations, y'all. If you have questions, y'all, drop your questions now. Put a couple of cues in the chat so that we know that it's a question, and we're going to ask this creator who is new to these YouTube streets, y'all, and she is tearing them up, y'all, to rave reviews. Everybody who is somebody knows JC Calamity Jane. Yo, she is hashtag an indescribable wonder. Yes,
Oh,
she is. Friends, I want you to drop in the chat as we beginning to wrap things up. But y'all, we still have plenty of time for you to get in here and ask some questions of this wonderful human called JC Calamity Jane, who, y'all, her hair is her crown. Her hair is her crown. I love your hair. In the Pacific Northwest, it is the rainy season, and it's going to be raining until April. It just
oh
is.
wow.
So yeah, yeah, that part. So I spend as much time as I can traveling because yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot.
Right.
Yeah, and
And
it.
then this picture is, I think I shared this last week. So I was walking around my yard, just doing my normal. No, not true. My husband and I were coming back from somewhere, and as we were driving through the driveway, I just see this red. I'm like, "What is that red flower?" So in East, where I'm at in East Texas and stuff, growing up, you get a flower that's called a. I know it's probably not the most appropriate name for it, but we always call them Indian paintbrushes. But they look so
Mm,
100% different from this one.
mhm,
So, but I looked at like, why is it just literally a single flower in the yard? And so the next day I went around and walked around, and I have never seen this flower in my life. So whatever bird or whatever blessed us with this, but it's called the kind of common name is the red spider lily. Sometimes it's a Lycoris radiata. Again,
mhm,
Lycoris radiata, sometimes known as a red spider lily, red magic lily, cork flower, equinox flower. Sometimes they call it a hurricane because it's supposed to symbolize sort of this renewal after the rain.
mhm.
They're highly thought. Oh, okay, Amy. I just see. Okay, okay, Amy. You need to make. I need to. You need to put that on my short about this flower. It's absolutely beautiful. It's divine.
It is. It is
Um,
gorgeous.
but apparently it's a very toxic. So yes, I need to keep it away from the animals. Okay. It looks like we.
Yeah, we've got some questions here. I'm gonna start putting them up here.
Oh, you're right. So this is a great question. So how did you talk? So guess what? My doctors have been
Because
trying
I
to
want to
talk to
talk to
me
my
about
doctor about GLP-1s. I've just been working with a registered dietitian. Lost some weight.
it. So
I feel like I need to ramp it up and get some help
got it.
because help is available.
Absolutely. Yeah.
GLP-1s.
So Gemini, this is a great question. So funny enough, I have really good doctors. I love my doctors, and they had been on me about starting since 2023. So from 20, because while I am a type 1 diabetic, I'm not the classic type 1 diabetic where, where, my, the characteristic of the, what, or the way type 1 presented itself in me was not, slender and all that. I gained weight. Again, I was diagnosed when I was 14. I've had it for over 30 years. And, I am one of those that weight became me, right?
Yeah.
So I did lose 100 pounds doing Weight Watchers from 2012 to 2013, but life happened.
Congratulations.
Well, thank you.
Congratulations on that
Thank
loss.
you. Well, I gained it all back plus 40 or 50. I can't remember the math now. But 2023, I'm seeing my doctor and they're like, you've got to do something about this. Again, you're heading into your mid to late 40s. You're a
Hmm.
type 1 diabetic while you don't have complications now. You're a walking complications come and get me, right?
Yeah.
Type 1 and everything. And so like we got to do something about this weight because of heart disease and all the things. So I was offered Trulicity,
Comorbidities, they call them.
comorbidity, yeah. So I was offered Trulicity. I let them know I was hesitant because again, the first thing you hear when people talk about these things are side effects, side effects, side effects, gastric issues, all the things, and I didn't want to live that life. And so that box of Trulicity is literally sitting in my drawer. I never opened it, never tried it. I just wanted
Mm.
to stay away from it. I wish I had because the price was different back then. But what, neither here nor there, neither here nor there. And so, a year later, I'm with I ended up going to a different endocrinologist just for distance wise. It was better for me. One of the first questions, it's like, hey, do you want to get on one of these? We need to do something about your weight. Again, hesitating. He's like, okay. So I saw my primary on July 10th. I was at my highest weight I had ever been. Um, and so 292, and I went in and he's like, because he knows I've been trying to do different things, yada yada yada. He's like, we've got to do this. It's like, I understand you have some hesitations, but we've got to do something. And
Yeah.
so I let him know my concerns. He said, he walked me through all of them, like how to avoid the nausea, the constipation, all the things. And he just said, look, you don't like it, stop taking it. And he's like, and I like, let's do it. Okay,
Well, let's
let's do
try.
it. I've got to
Yeah.
do something. I got
Yeah.
to do something because I wanted, because I got, I've done cruises and, one of my biggest pet, the first thing when you look at the excursions or what you want to do on a cruise, I know I want to go to Costa Rica at some point, not as a
Ooh.
cruise, but just as a land thing. I want to go back to Italy because I've not been to Italy married. And so
Mhm.
I want my husband to love Italy as much as I do. And
Yeah.
there's a lot of things I do that require walking up hills and walking
Mhm.
around most of the day and all the things. And same with Costa Rica. I want to be able to go into those waters and into those, all into walk near a volcano and hopefully not fall in and all those things. And and it's not to say you
No,
can't do that.
don't fall in. We need you
Right,
here. We need you in
right. And it's not to say you can't do those things with a certain body habitus, but it definitely makes it. I don't want to have to stop my
challenge.
husband every time I need to rest and do all the things. I want to be, but my philosophy is this: on or off this drug, your best health today. That's my philosophy. What is the best health today I can get to, right? And so ultimately he was like, you know what, if you don't like it, you can stop taking it. So I took it. He got it because he tried Manjaro, but again, I'm a type 1 and
Yes.
Manjaro is not approved for type 1s. The biggest reason it's not so the biggest reason GLP-1s, GIPs are not approved for type 1s is because of the concern about FDA. FDA is very strict and highly concerned about anything that causes hypoglycemia. I kind of did a video on it. And so, for example, like this is the Medtronic 780G insulin pump. It took 3 years for the United States to approve this because they were concerned about the statistics on type 1 diabetics going low. This is an insulin pump for type 1s, and it took 3 years for the FDA to approve it because of concerns about hypoglycemia, which is risky.
And what
If
is
you, if
tell
you,
everyone who may
oh,
not know that what is
yes,
hypoglycemia?
ma'am.
I've
Hypoglycemia is
what it means.
Yes, ma'am. Hypoglycemia is low blood sugar or low blood glucose, and it can lead to passing out, going into a coma, all the things, right? Most diabetics can kind of feel when they go low. Again, I use a continuous. glucose monitor to track my highs and lows, and that works with the insulin pump to help manage, like if I need more insulin, if I need less. Like I said, I have a couple of videos about it. I'll talk more about it, but that's hypoglycemia. And so that's why Zepbound, Manjaro, Wegovy, and all those things are not approved. They are doing trials and tests. They've been doing it for a while. They are
Hmm.
doing trials and tests to hopefully someday it will be approved. But I'm able to get on Zepbound due to my BMI. So the Zepbound, the Wegovy, those are based on weight loss, and then Zepbound also helps with sleep apnea for some. And so that's what the FDA has approved. Same drug, tirzepatide is the same drug for Mounjaro and Zepbound. One Mounjaro is one branding for the purpose of type 2 diabetes. When they saw one of the side effects, the positive side effects of it was weight loss, then it recreated, but they just rebranded as
Hmm.
Zepbound for weight loss, and then later discovered it also supports sleep apnea. Same with story with semaglutide, Wegovy, with Ozempic and Wegovy. There's the one for type 2, and then the one for the purpose of weight loss. So the conversation happened. I got denied because again, not type 2. He
Hmm.
said that due to the BMI, got approved for that. Picked it up on a Tuesday, took the first shot on the Wednesday, immediately felt the difference. Almost immediately, I had breakfast. I did my normal. I put my normal net carbs into bolus. So bolus is so when a type 1 or type 2 who's on insulin talks about a bolus, that's when I give myself a shot of insulin to cover my the carbs I'm about to take and any
Yeah.
corrections that I need to make.
Yes.
And so I didn't even think about it. I took my normal one. Whew, this girl went low. This
Yeah.
girl went low because the foods are what the terzepatides do, and is that they slow a couple things they do. They if you are someone that still produces insulin, even if you're resistant, so that's type 2, you produce insulin but it's resistant. If you're type 1 and receiving insulin, one of the things these tirzepatides or these GLP-1s do is that they help encourage the function and the proper use of insulin in your body to
Hmm.
start dealing with the carbs and the sugar that has entered the body to do the work. And then the other thing it does that it slows digestion. So if digestion is slowed, it slows down that sugar being released. So here I am taking my insulin at the normal dose,
Mm.
and I don't have enough sugar. I don't have enough sugar for
Yeah.
that insulin to deal with. Jennifer starts going low. So I sent my numbers and stuff, and this is why you have to have a good working relationship with your medical care team. I did a my
Yeah.
chart, sent them my numbers, sent them
Yes.
what dose I was on. He said, update your settings to this, and that. The rest is history. I've not had more stable blood sugar in the 30 years I've had this disease. There's days I don't even think about being,
Wow.
and for a type 1 to say they're not thinking about so the insulin pumps help with
Right.
that, right? When I got the insulin pump in 2016, I did have to learn to trust this machine. Like I said in a video, I'm a child of the
Yeah.
80s. I know John Connor is saving our
Yeah.
lives from the
Yeah.
machine to take
Yeah.
over. Why am I going to trust the machine? So I had to learn to trust my insulin pump, and that is a game. That was a game changer in and of itself, right? But then, yeah, these things have created. So I think I did a walking video. I know Joe asked about the walking video. I did a walking video like before, if I were to try to take a walk with my blood sugar being normal, I took a 30-minute calm, not
Yeah.
crazy walk. I took a 30-minute walk before, and my blood sugar was at, in the low 100s because activity and the way activity and insulin works on your body is it's almost a 1-to-1. So for every minute of walking you do, your blood glucose will will lower, right?
Lower. Hmm.
And so I was living that life of, getting low. I'm sitting here taking hours to figure out if I can work out because I need my blood sugar high enough so it doesn't drop too low after a workout.
Yeah.
Since I've been on this, I'm walking and doing all these things. It's stable line, not doing those big dips and stuff like that. So it's a game changer. But how did I talk with again, my doctor approached me about it. He's like, you need to do something about this. But what I
Hmm.
would say to you is, if you're in a place where you're like, especially if your BMI is not in the place that it needs to be,
That's
Check with
me.
your insurance, call your insurance, do all those things, see what it will cover, have those conversations, walk through whatever the pre-authorization process may be under your insurance, and then have that. And your doctor's office will do a lot of this legwork too. So you want to
Yes.
start with your
Hmm.
doctor, they'll do the legwork with insurance for you. Say that, I have concerns. I know, this X, Y, and Z runs in my family. I know my cholesterol has been elevated. I know my HbA1c has been elevated. I know I'm not in the good BMI range and all those things, and then have that conversation and see where y'all head. But definitely make sure that you have to, if you have other comorbidities, make sure you have that sort of working relationship with your care team so they can continuously kind of track your progress throughout the way. So, yeah.
Thank you. And that's one thing I can say about the GLP-1 community is that you all are just a bounty of resources. And no, you're not medical practitioners, but
Right.
you are just simply sharing so much with so much transparency what your individual walk is the side effects. Y'all are giving us the good and the bad, right?
Right.
And how to alleviate some of those things. I didn't even know about the connection between um, um, GLP-1s and with the sleep apnea and that they go hand in hand. And, you know, for a lot of folks. So you all are just really the amount of information that is out there now. When I wanted GLP-1s initially, and it was probably almost 2 years ago, my insurance would not cover it. They were
Right.
just blanketly denying all of that unless you had type 2 diabetes, and I did not. So it just is what it is, and I could not pay. They were like, I'm like, well, I could pay 1 month. They were like, okay, well, $800, ma'am. But then what about the next
Right.
month?
Yeah. And it's
Yeah,
and it's the access. It's
no
insane about
longer a
access.
factor now. It's no longer a
Even with the
factor
insulin.
now. It should be
Yeah,
covered.
even with it should be. A lot of things should be, even with the insulin pump, the insulin, a version of the insulin pump has been around for a long time. Now, granted, the first insulin pump was like walking around with a backpack and stuff like that. But, in 2016, I would have been trying to do the math in my head. Not 2016. I think 2002. It was when I was in college. My doctor offered an insulin pump, but guess what? Insurance was not doing covering significant. They weren't doing a significant enough coverage for someone of my socioeconomic background.
Right.
It wasn't going to happen. So I didn't get an insulin. So I didn't get an insulin pump till 2016. Could I have gotten it early with the insurance I have? Probably, but in 2002, not a chance. I was, college student. I'm trying to get through college with good grades, right? So I can
Absolutely.
get a real job to pay for things, right?
Yeah.
And then even with there's a really good book called Think Like a Pancreas. I hope to talk about it soon. I'll give you the
Mm.
author, Cindy Kay, but
I've
the
heard
Think
you
Like
talk
a
about that
Pancreas
book
book
before.
is a
Yes.
good book. They were talking about, GLP-1's been out since 2004 to treat diabetes, and because I think the FDA, and again, we'll get
Wow.
the corrections will be where they at, but I believe the FDA officially approved it somewhere 2000, late 2004, 2005 is when it was officially approved by FDA.
Mhm.
But people had been, and even these meds are not the first discovery of what GLP-1s did and do. We're learning more now that more people are on it, but they have been used for the treatment. Like this guy, he writes like often used as the first treatment for type 2 diabetics. Oh, no, it's not. No one was offering me. My dad was a type 2 diabetic. No one was offering him a
Right.
GLP-1.
My
And
dad
then
was
like in the
diabetic as
night, at any point in his thing, it's diet and exercise. That's literally the first the first thing is diet and exercise. No one's just saying,
well.
"Hey, go take this GLP-1 in 2004." So,
Yes.
but uh, but yeah, I mean, it's been out there for, and he even writes, even to treat type ones, yet it's still not FDA approved. And I get it. I fully respect, because hypoglycemia is a significant side effect. So,
Okay,
but
we're
it's,
going to run through these questions 1 minute at
it's,
a time. And so it's going to be a
you,
rapid fire
okay,
round. Y'all, we didn't even get to do the fun questions, y'all, because y'all, she's an indescribable wonder. All of her life is okay.
we'll
So,
make we'll make it happen.
how did you pick your variety of chickens that you have?
So the first grouping was
Yeah.
what were I didn't even know what Craigslist was. So my first eight was like my mother-in-law found someone selling chicken because chickens got popular during COVID and afterwards,
Sure
right?
did. Sure
Everyone wanted to be a homesteader, right?
did.
Like quit life
Yes.
and be a homesteader. So the first sets were quite literally, these were the ones available for less than $20 on, I think they were like 10 or 15 on Craigslist. Soon
What
after
you
that, it was the feathers. Like, I am not a fashionista by any right. I am comfort. Comfort is my number one
I
priority when it comes to fashion. But chickens, I am obsessed with feathers and the feather patterns. I'm not into like the silkies and the ones with funny hairdos and all that other stuff, but I like feather patterns. Everyone look up Swedish flower hen. That's the hint. That's the chicken I want next. There's somebody that has them 3 hours
chicken,
away. Someone
chicken
wants me to
goals.
roast it.
Chicken goals.
Everyone look at the Swedish flower hen. That's the most beautiful thing
Wow.
on the planet.
Wow.
So
What Swedish flower hens?
Swedish flower hens. Yep.
Thank you, Mia, for your question. Real Journal Talk with V. Everybody loves Real Journal Talk with V. Y'all, V did an amazing clothing. What did she call it? A capsule clothing show. Love that, V. And always like to check in with you as you're doing your hula hoop challenge stuff. So check in with Real Journal Talk with V. But V asked JC, did you say you were type 4C hair? I certainly am type
I'm
4C.
pretty confident I'm 4C. I don't think, well, that's a little hair thing, but I'm pretty confident I'm 4C.
Yeah.
You'll see. I'm pretty confident.
I know
I can
for
never see
sure
the
I
tail
am 4C.
pattern.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty confident I am.
Great questions. Kyle loves your background like we all do. I wish I could just roll around and run my feet through that beautiful green grass. Um, Joe says, when are you doing your next walk with me?
I'll try to do one tomorrow. Like I said, my goal is to I'll do these edits and everything, but I wouldn't mind doing another one. I want to test out my signal because I want to kind of I need there to be an audience because I really want to go look at that horse barn, that abandoned horse barn that's adjacent to our property. But I don't know. I get nervous sometimes. I never know what's going to show up in the woods. So we'll see. We'll see. But I need to make sure I get a signal that far out.
And thank you, Joe. I absolutely am talking with my doctor, and because might as well take a radical steps to be for my health for 50 and beyond. Absolutely.
You already do the biggest thing to ward off side effects. Water, water and fiber. The water. We should all be like Miss Harderine. She drinks what, two 8 ounce bottles, or is it 8 ounce or 16 ounces first thing in the morning?
Mm.
And Joe, you can correct me because I don't know if Harderine's here, but yeah, I think she does two 16 ounce
Yeah, think
before
about
she.
it. Water never killed anybody. So keep that in mind. Welcome in Mary's life journey, friends. We're getting ready to come down from this place. Look at the friends, a whole new crew
Oh,
of
Model
folks
Lori,
joining in here. Yes, Model
I
Lori
just
Internet is here.
connected with her.
Yes,
Yeah, and let's check out Model Lori. Yeah, she has
she's great.
she's like one of those. She does all the things. She takes us through her life. She some of her walks and then her fashion. She has this very classic,
She's
beautiful fashion. Like, she's motivating me.
Yes. So folks love you on the walks. And so bring us a walk. Bring us a walk for Vlogtober. We love it. We love all your content. And friends, I'm gonna stop right there because I promised
Oh, yes,
JC
yes,
that we
yes.
would be timely and we want her to come back, right? We want to do a checkup, a check-in with JC Calamity Jane. Y'all, she's an indescribable wonder, y'all.
Oh,
She
thank you.
she she's my good friend as well as she is yours. And we thank you. We applaud your journey and we applaud your introduction into YouTube. Don't leave us because we're going to keep rocking and riding with you, JC Calamity Jane. Um, Go ahead and say goodbye to all the friends on both sides.
I want to thank everyone who joined into the live. I want to thank everybody who catch the replay. And I think if any last words are to be said for tonight, it's you, Kinda K, for all the things you're doing, whether it's the game nights that you do, or whether it's the cooking, because I get a lot. Trust me, I'm over there writing notes on recipes and things that you're doing or trying it the next week. But most importantly, it's like I said, it's you, the source, super chat. There's you know, there's the idea as you what do we say as you move up to the top? You know, don't forget the people who made you and all that good stuff. And y'all and you we enter your space knowing we can connect and grow.
Yes.
And we enter your space knowing it's going to be a space of learning. And you don't have to do this. You don't have to tell us the secrets of this and how to become your best you in this space. And you're doing it.
Because
Yeah.
YouTube
What I
is
say?
hard and it's not as fun if you
Yeah.
don't know folks and do it together with
Exactly.
good folks. It's not. I did it for a year by myself. That's why I say I only monetized in the last 6 months because I only had 260 subscribers after a whole year on
Wow.
YouTube by myself. It was not fun at all. I almost quit. I almost quit. But then I found community. And so I did all of it, monetized, fully monetized in 6 months. So thank you. And I'm so glad to meet you. I'm so glad to meet so many friends who are in the chat. This is an amazing ride. And this is what YouTube is all about. Okay. I don't know what they intended it to be, probably for money, but we are making new friends and keeping our old ones too. And let's just grow together. Let's just grow together. Goodbye for now. See y'all. Y'all take good care.